Let me tell you something. When you see a woman who walks alone, don't mistake her for someone weak. She's not lonely, she's dangerous. Dangerous to weak minds, dangerous to time wasters, dangerous to those who thrive in fake friendships. She moves differently because she thinks differently. While others chase validation, she builds herself. While they gather in circles, whispering about nonsense, she walks with purpose. You want to know why she has no friends? Because she doesn't entertain drama. She doesn't entertain lies. She doesn't entertain people who drain her energy. And in a world where everyone is desperate to fit in, she dares to stand alone. But here's the thing. Being this kind of woman isn't easy. Society will label her as cold, difficult, or too much. Why? Because she doesn't conform. She doesn't beg for attention. She doesn't need a crowd to feel whole. And that's what makes her unstoppable. A woman like this is a force of nature. She walks into a room and people feel her presence. Not because she's loud, but because she's solid. She's been through enough to know that not everyone clapping for you is truly happy for you. She chooses her company wisely because she knows that energy is contagious. If she has to walk alone to protect her peace, she'll do it without hesitation. See, weak women are everywhere. They crave attention, they seek approval, they fear being alone. But a strong woman, she doesn't fear solitude. She embraces it, because that's where she finds herself. So the next time you see a woman who walks alone, understand this: she's not lost, she's not broken, she's not missing out. She's just moving at a level most people can't reach, and that is power. If you are that woman, stand firm. Keep walking your path, because the world will try to shake you, but those who walk alone, they'll always end up ahead. Now, the question is, are you strong enough to walk that path? A woman who walks alone with no friends is not necessarily isolated or weak. She is independent, self-sufficient, and has a mind that refuses to be influenced by the noise of the world. Her solitude is not forced, it is chosen. She has learned that being surrounded by the wrong people is far lonelier than walking alone. While many seek validation through friendships, social circles, and constant communication, she finds her validation within herself. She understands that her growth, peace, and success depend on her ability to focus, and that focus cannot exist in the midst of distraction. She has been through situations that have tested her, moments where people betrayed her trust, where so-called friends turned into enemies the moment she stopped being useful to them. These experiences didn't break her, they shaped her. They taught her that not everyone who smiles in her face wishes her well. She now moves differently because she knows better. She knows that loyalty is rare, and she refuses to waste her energy on those who do not add value to her life. Some may say she is cold, distant, or unapproachable, but the truth is, she is selective. She doesn't let just anyone into her space because she understands the power of energy. She knows that the wrong people can corrupt even the strongest mind, and she refuses to let that happen to her. When she walks alone, she is not lost. She is not searching for someone to complete her. She is whole all by herself. She has built herself up brick by brick, lesson by lesson, heartbreak by heartbreak. She has been her own support system, her own cheerleader, her own motivation. When no one believed in her, she believed in herself. When no one stood by her, she stood tall on her own. She doesn't seek company just for the sake of it. If someone cannot match her energy, her ambition, or her mindset, she is better off without them. She would rather be alone than be surrounded by people who do not push her to be better. She has learned that most friendships are built on convenience, not loyalty. That people stick around when it benefits them, but disappear when she needs them the most. This realization did not make her bitter, it made her wise. She has seen how people change, how they gossip about their closest friends, how they switch sides when it suits them. And so, she made a decision not to isolate herself, but to protect herself. She still loves, she still cares, but she does it from a distance. She observes before she trusts. She listens before she speaks, and she values actions over words. Her strength is intimidating. Society expects women to be social, to seek approval, to need others. But she defies that expectation. She is confident in her own presence, unshaken by loneliness, unbothered by opinion. She walks alone because she knows her worth. A woman who walks alone is often misunderstood. People assume she is lonely, that she has no one to turn to, that she is somehow incomplete without a circle of friends. But the truth is, she has chosen her solitude, not because she dislikes people, but because she understands the value of her time, her energy, and her peace of mind. She is not easily swayed by peer pressure or the need to fit in. While others chase companionship at any cost, she moves at her own pace, undistracted and unapologetic. She has learned that most people are not what they seem, that friendships built on convenience crumble the moment hardship appears. So instead of wasting time on shallow connections, she invests in herself. She has walked through fire and come out stronger. There was a time when she trusted easily, when she gave her energy to those who never deserved it. But experience has been her greatest teacher. She has seen betrayal up close, felt the sting of disappointment, and watched people walk away when she needed them the most. But instead of becoming bitter, she became better. She learned that the fewer people in her life, the fewer distractions she has, the less she relies on others, the stronger she becomes. She no longer needs external validation because she has found confidence within herself. She does not need a crowd to feel important, nor does she need constant attention to feel seen. This kind of woman is rare. Society tells people that success is measured by popularity, by how many friends one has, by how often they are invited to events. But she sees through the illusion. She understands that true success comes from discipline, from focus, from being intentional with one's time. She does not spend hours scrolling through social media, comparing her life to others. She does not engage in pointless gossip or seek approval from those who do not matter. Instead, she builds, she works, she sharpens her mind, strengthens her body, and feeds her soul. She would rather spend an evening alone with a book, learning something new, than waste time with people who have no ambition, no vision, no purpose. Some mistake her silence for weakness, but she is far from weak. She walks with quiet confidence, not needing to announce her strength to the world. She does not explain herself to those who do not understand her. She does not chase after people who do not appreciate her presence. And because of this, she commands respect. People may not always like her, but they cannot ignore her. They watch her from a distance, curious about how she carries herself with such certainty. Some envy her, others admire her, but very few truly understand her. And that is how she prefers it. She knows that the path she has chosen is not for everyone, but for those who are strong enough to walk it, the rewards are unmatched. A woman who walks alone with no friends understands something that most people don't. Peace is priceless. She has learned, sometimes the hard way, that not everyone who smiles in her face is truly on her side. She has seen how people switch up, how they pretend to care when they need something, and how quickly they disappear when she's the one in need. So instead of chasing relationships, she chooses herself. She chooses to walk a different path, one where she controls who gets access to her energy. It's not that she doesn't love people. She just refuses to entertain those who drain her, those who bring nothing but drama, and those who only come around when it benefits them. She is often judged for her solitude. Some say she's too independent, too distant. But what they don't realize is that her solitude has become her greatest strength. She has mastered the art of being alone without feeling lonely. While others are afraid of silence, she embraces it. She finds clarity in moments of stillness, strength in her own company, and wisdom in the time she spends reflecting on her life. She doesn't need the background noise of meaningless conversations or the distractions of social gatherings that serve no real purpose. Instead, she invests in herself. She reads, she learns, she grows. Every moment alone is an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, and more in control of her own destiny. She wasn't always this way. There was a time when she tried to fit in, when she surrounded herself with people just to avoid feeling alone. She learned that most friendships are built on convenience, not loyalty. That people will celebrate her when she's doing well, but vanish the moment she struggles. And so, she stopped seeking acceptance and started demanding respect. She stopped forcing connections and started allowing only those who truly value her into her space. People wonder why she keeps to herself, why she doesn't chase friendships, why she moves differently. But what they don't understand is that she has found something far more valuable than popularity. She has found peace. She doesn't need constant validation from others because she validates herself. She doesn't need people to hype her up because she already knows her worth. And because of that, she walks with an energy that is both intimidating and inspiring. Some may call her distant, but the truth is, she is focused on her goals, her purpose, and her vision. She refuses to waste time on meaningless interactions or surround herself with people who don't align with her path. She understands that not everyone is meant to walk with her, and she's perfectly okay with that. Because at the end of the day, she would rather walk alone in purpose than be surrounded by people going nowhere. A woman who walks alone with no friends has faced battles that most will never understand. She has been let down by people she trusted, betrayed by those she loved, and abandoned when she needed support the most. But instead of breaking, she rebuilt herself. She has learned to stand on her own, to move in silence, and to rely on her own strength. She knows now that not everyone who claps for her wants to see her win, and not everyone who calls her a friend will be there when it truly matters. She has seen the masks people wear, the fake smiles, the empty promises, and so she chooses a different path. A path where she is in control of her own peace. She walks alone, not because she cannot find company, but because she values quality over quantity. She has no interest in shallow friendships, meaningless conversations, or being part of a group just for the sake of belonging. She has outgrown the need for approval, for constant validation, for people who only show up when it's convenient. She is past the phase of trying to prove herself to others. She knows her worth, and she refuses to lower her standards just to fit in. She does not chase friendships, she attracts them. And if the right people don't come along, she is more than happy to keep walking her path alone. She has discovered something that most people never do: the power of solitude. While others fill their time with distractions, she uses hers to grow. She reads, she learns, she works on herself, she sharpens her mind, strengthens her spirit, and focuses on her goals. While others gossip, she strategizes. While they waste time trying to impress the world, she is busy building her own. She moves differently because she has a vision, and she refuses to let anything or anyone slow her down. She does not need the noise, the drama, or the constant opinions of others clouding her judgment. She trusts herself enough to walk her own journey, even if that means walking alone. She has learned that silence is powerful, that not everything needs a reaction, and that walking alone allows her to hear her own thoughts clearly. She has no desire to prove anything to anyone. She is comfortable in her own skin, at peace with her own company, and in tune with her own energy. People may misunderstand her, judge her, or assume she is missing out. But what they don't see is the strength that comes from being self-sufficient, the confidence that comes from knowing she doesn't need a crowd to feel whole. She has built a foundation so strong that no betrayal, no rejection, no loneliness can shake it. She walks alone because she has outgrown the need for unnecessary connection. She knows that if someone does not bring value, peace, or purpose into her life, they have no place in it. She is not bitter, she is wise. And wisdom has taught her that the road to true success, true fulfillment, and true peace is often a road walked alone. A woman who walks alone with no friends moves differently because she has learned a truth that few ever realize. She is enough. She has fought battles in silence, overcome struggles with no one to lean on, and built herself up from places where most people would have given up. She does not need a crowd to feel important, nor does she need constant company to feel complete. While others seek approval and validation from the outside world, she has found everything she needs within herself. She has become her own source of strength, her own motivator, and her own biggest supporter. She used to believe that friendship meant loyalty, that the people she loved would always stand by her side. But life has a way of revealing the truth. She has seen people walk away when times got tough. She has felt the pain of betrayal from those she trusted the most. And she has experienced what it's like to be surrounded by many, yet feel completely alone. But instead of allowing bitterness to consume her, she transformed that pain into power. She realized that loneliness is not the absence of people, it's the absence of true connection. And if she cannot find authenticity in others, she would rather embrace her solitude. She has no interest in meaningless conversations, fake smiles, or shallow relationships. She is not one to entertain drama, to gossip about others, or to engage in small talk just to pass the time. Every moment of her life is valuable, and she chooses to invest her time in things that truly matter. While others waste their days caught up in distractions, she is focused on her growth, her goals, and her purpose. She understands that the more energy she spends on people who do not add value to her life, the less energy she has for the things that will elevate her. People often mistake her independence for arrogance, but they fail to see the discipline behind it. She does not walk alone because she has to. She does not need a crowd to feel validated because she has built a foundation of confidence that no one can shake. She does not seek constant reassurance from others because she already knows her worth. She does not feel the need to prove anything because her results speak for themselves. She is not like everyone else, and she is perfectly fine with that. While others spend their days seeking acceptance, she spends hers building a life that needs no validation. While they chase friendships built on convenience, she chooses a path of true self-discovery. And while they fear being alone, she has learned that solitude is not something to be afraid of. It is a gift. A gift that allows her to grow, to heal, and to evolve without the weight of unnecessary attachments. She is not lonely, she is free. A woman who walks alone with no friends is not weak, she is powerful beyond measure. She has learned the hard way that in this world not everyone deserves access to her energy. She has seen how people take advantage of kindness, how loyalty is often one-sided, and how the ones closest to her can be the very ones who bring her down. So instead of begging for company, she chooses peace. Instead of tolerating disrespect, she chooses self-respect. Instead of forcing connections, she lets them go. She has realized that being alone is not a curse, it is a privilege. A privilege that allows her to focus, to heal, and to build herself without interference. She has faced the whispers, the judgment, the assumptions. People wonder why she keeps to herself, why she doesn't crave the validation of others, why she isn't desperate for friendships. They don't understand that she has already experienced what it's like to be surrounded by people who pretend to care. She knows what it's like to be the one always giving, always listening, always supporting, only to receive nothing in return. She knows what it's like to be forgotten the moment she stops being useful to others. And she refuses to let that cycle repeat itself. She has reached a point in her life where she does not chase anything that does not align with her peace. She does not beg for friendship. She does not entertain toxic relationships. And she does not lower her standards for anyone. Her time is too valuable to waste on people who do not appreciate her. Her energy is too sacred to be drained by negativity. And her mind is too focused to be distracted by things that do not serve her growth. While others may see loneliness as something to be feared, she sees it as an opportunity to grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. While they seek constant noise to avoid their thoughts, she embraces the silence to hear her own wisdom. While they rely on external validation, she has built an unshakable foundation of self-worth. And because of this, she moves with a confidence that is rare, a confidence that does not need an audience to exist. She is the kind of woman who walks into a room and commands respect without saying a word. Not because she is loud, not because she seeks attention, but because her energy is undeniable. She carries herself with a grace that comes from knowing she needs no one's approval. She makes decisions based on what is best for her, not what will make her more likable. She does not follow the crowd because she is too busy carving her own path. And that is why she walks alone. Not because she is lonely, not because she is bitter, but because she refuses to settle for anything less than authenticity. She understands that solitude is where she finds her power, her purpose, and her true self. And that is something no friendship, no group, no validation can ever replace. A woman who walks alone with no friends is not weak, nor is she lost. She is a force to be reckoned with. She has learned that solitude is not loneliness. It is strength. It is clarity. It is freedom. She does not fear being alone because she has discovered that the most powerful version of herself emerges in the quiet, away from distractions, away from empty connection. She walks with purpose, knowing that her peace, her growth, and her self-respect are far more valuable than the temporary comfort of shallow companionship. She is not bitter, she is wise. She is not broken, she is whole. And while the world may not understand her path, she does not need them to. Because she walks with confidence, with grace, and with a spirit that refuses to be diminished by the expectations of others. She is proof that a woman who walks alone is not lost. She is simply on a journey that most are too afraid to take. And in that journey, she has found something priceless: herself.